Hey everybody, September. We're past Labor Day. Finally getting some nice weather here. So we're going to tie a really easy, I guess you would call it an attractor style dry fly today. I'm going to call this one kind of an homage pattern because this is basically, I call it the BT candy, which is a brook trout candy. I tie it in a couple configurations. The one we're going to tie is actually in the vise right now. The other one that I tie, same thing. Only thing that changes is the tail. I use like a red tag. The BT stands for brook trout because these little flies are small stream brook trout candy. They do catch browns and mini rainbows and cutties too. But on a lot of small streams where you're dealing with some gradient and whatnot, it pays to have a high floating, heavily hackled dry fly tractor pattern. This is one of my favorites, and I call it an homage pattern because it basically pays homage to the late great Fran Betters' Ausable Bomber. The only difference in this fly is really the color scheme. Fran, when he tied his, he used a heavier hair for the tail. I believe he used on this one here, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's woodchuck. And then for the body, he used kind of like a reddish-brown, squirrel-colored mixed dubbing, and then two different colored hackles, a brown and a grizzly, and a calf tail for the wing, which I kind of kept to the same on that. But I use a peacock body because peacock herl, let's face it, is just really excellent fish-catching tying material. And then for the tail, I'm using like CDL or the red yarn. I'm a big believer in red in a lot of my brook trout patterns, so that's why I use it. But we're going to tie this one with the CDL tail today in a red thread and peacock herl. I sometimes I really like a darker colored pattern. It shows up a little bit better, especially when you start to lose leaves on trees and whatnot, and you've got that white wing, and it just kind of shows up a little bit better so you can see it. And the way we're going to tie it today, it'll hold up a little bit better. So, first things first is I'm going to put a dry fly hook in the vise. I typically use all barbless hooks, so I'm using an Eric's FW501 dry fly hook today. This is actually a number 12. You totally can use, I tie these in like, I think a 16 is the smallest I'll go, up to a 10. We're going to use a red 8/0 Vivas today, as you can see here. That's going to be our tying thread. You could use black. I'm just going to start my thread right about the spot where I think I'm going to start my wing. Work my way rearward right to about the point where the hook is just about to start to bend. I'm going to use some CDL for the tails on this. You don't need to count the number out. In fact, I like to go overly generous. So what I'll typically do is I'll come in here, I'll find a bunch like this, pull them away. Line them up in my hand. I want the tail to be roughly the length of the hook. Transfer it. Work my way down the hook. We're going to reverse hackle these today. So I'm going to use a small section of extra small red ultra wire. Like I said, any chance I get to use red in any of my brook trout flies, I really like to. Let that hang over. Now for your wing, you're going to use some white calf tail. Most of the calf tails I have are, this one's longer than what I need, but it's all I have left. So I'm going to go in and choose a generous bundle, roughly about yay much, if you can see there. I know with the white background it's kind of difficult. You're going to lose a few of these when you cut and kind of preen and prib this stuff. So what I'll usually do, rather than use a stacker, just because this stuff doesn't stack very well, I'll pull the fibers out and then just realign them in my fingertips, like you see here, because you're going to get some that are going to be shorter. So you get a nice little bundle. Once you've done that, I've got little fibers, as you can see, flying around here. You're going to measure that wing to be roughly the length of the hook shank. Once you've done that, then you can just transfer that bundle to your support hand. And I spend a little extra time just kind of getting it together. Measure it up. Bring that there. Take one loose turn. I'll take about 4 or 5 going rearward. Cut it at an angle. And then just take your thread, cover up those butt ends. Try and build a little bit of a taper if you can. And then I advance my thread right to the base of the wing, come in front of it. And you don't need to split these wings. Just kind of want to prop them up slightly. And if they're leaning forward a little bit, kind of like in the proper bomber style, that's completely okay too. You can build your underbody. Nice little taper there. I'll leave my thread hanging somewhere in the middle there, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select like 4 to 5 peacock curls. Alright. I had some background noise there. I had to restart. So once I've gotten those peacock curls in place, next thing I'm going to do is just take my hackle pliers and then I'm going to twist them into a rope and start winding it forward. Starts to unravel. Just give it another turn. Do your best not to trap any of those calf tail. Don't get your scissors caught on your hackle pliers like I just did either. Lift the wing up. Take one turn in front. A full turn. If you've got space, do another. But usually 1.5 works. And then you're going to tie it off. See, my wire's a little long, but that's okay. 3. 1, 2, 3. Trim it. And I try to just cover up those butt ends the best I can. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch on so I don't walk away from it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our 2 prepared hackles together. And when I say prepared, I like to trim the base of mine because we're going to be tying them in from the stem, not the tips. And with a bomber style fly, you want as much hackle as possible on there because it'll help it float a little bit better, shed water on the back cast. But usually you fish these in broken water where the fish aren't so picky. So what I like to do is I'll take the 2 grizzly hackles together. I've already pre-cut tips, and I'll just catch them right there first and work my way right back to the base of the body. And then I'm going to put a 1/2 inch on there because I don't want that to come apart. Now, because these hackle feathers are so long, because they're from some whiting 100s I had kicking around, I'm not going to use my hackle pliers, but if they're shorter and you need to use your hackle pliers, by all means do so. It's entirely up to you. And you can use your rotary function. This will go by really quickly, but I'm just going to wrap these by hand. So I'm going to take one turn in front. Next one's going to go open right behind it. Next one's going to go open behind that one. Next one's going to go open behind that. So I'm pommering these right through the body of this fly, right to the base of the tail. When I get to there, the next thing I want to do is I want to take that piece of wire and I'm going to have to work its way through the hackle fibers. And I'm going to go counterwind it right through. My first turn should hold those two hackles together so that they're not going to come out. And then I'm just going to kind of counterwind it through. And you'll see I'm going to wiggle the wire through so I don't trap any of those hackle fibers. And as I'm counterwinding it, same thing, I'm pommering it right through. And even wraps as best I can. I'll do one right behind because I want that wing to kind of lean forward. And then I'm going to wind one right through the front. And I'll take one extra turn right there so that I can tie it off. One turn, 2, 3. I'll take 1, 2, 3 right in front. And then you can helicopter that off. And if you don't like the way that thread head looks, I'll typically spin that so it tightens that thread right back up. We'll cut those off in a second. Do a little 4-turn whip finish. Come right in there with your scissors. You can clean those little extra crazy fibers up after. Come in with my scissors. Trim those hackles off. And there's your Brook Trout candy. Just a little bomber pattern. You can put some head cement on those thread wraps if you like. That's entirely up to you. But that's that little fly. Works really good. If you're a small stream junkie like I am, you like to go chasing brook trout, these are fun ones to fish, and they catch quite a bit of fish without falling apart. So that's it. You can thank Fran Betters for his little original variation right there of the Ausable wolf, or Ausable, however you want to say it. It's a Adirondacks pattern. That's it. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.